Yeah, I'm ready. I'm not ready.
That's a good song. I'm not
Oh,
ready to go.
yeah,
What? Okay, that's a good way to start the show then.
not ready to go. That's the one they should fire up at Scotiabank Arena for game 2. Right out of the gates. I'm not ready to go.
See?
Welcome to NHL Puck Props presented by Sports Interaction. Josh Ingles, Dave Bastel. It's Tuesday. The Leafs got to win, and you got to feel for us, Davey, that was about as emotional as you want in a game where you were leading by 3 goals in the third period, losing your goalie, somehow still pull it off. Thank you to Matthew Nyes. Somehow Austin Matthews can still not hit a net even when there's no goalie in it.
Yep.
Good morning to everybody. How you doing, bud?
By the way, that Nyes contract is now 7 by 9.5.
7. Let's go back to 7 and 7.
9.5.
Oh no.
Is he not okay? William Nylander scores the 2 goals, but if Matthew Nyes isn't the best player on the Leafs roster right now, I'm ready to argue with you. Go ahead.
100%. I bought his Conn Smythe yesterday live for 200 to 1.
What a horse, eh? What a horse. I'm trying to remember the last Leaf that has this sort of potential, and I'm trying to struggling here. Like I know Austin Matthews is a sexy scorer, and Mitch can dish, and Will has some nice skills and stuff like that. But this guy is a horse. Like this is like okay, to take it back to my Jet days. This is like vintage Keith Tkachuk prime. Like that, I think the sky's the limit, man. I might even bump up that salary by the end of this hit.
Yeah, the 7 and 7 is gone. We know that.
No. 7 by 9.5. That's we're building off of that now.
Yeah, you got Biz calling it the core 5 now. Which is important. Yes, and he is. But he even looks good on the power play behind the net, making quick moves, right? Winning a quick battle, getting the puck out quickly. He is a certified
G.
Frankie Corrado on TSN called him a moose.
Yeah,
he's a moose man, and that's what he is. He's
and the speed on that goal. Nobody was catching him. Nobody was catching him. So that was awesome. That was awesome. And this is a non-Leaf fan speaking here, and that was exciting. So
still waiting for my Nyes jersey from Walmart, by the way. I can't remember that. Yeah. I'll be saying that in mid-June.
It's there. Hopefully they spell it a little bit better than I do. So
God, it's coming. But interesting spot. Sam Bennett, certified greaseball. The whole team's just a certified greaseball. Mikola's a donkey. Let's throw him in the donkey wagon.
Okay.
Paul Maurice is in the donkey wagon.
No, I love Paul Maurice.
I know, but he's a donkey.
My favorite coach. You know what's really funny, Josh? You're sounding a lot like Dave Bastel speaking of the Blues, eh? And you guys, weird, huh? And the two of you there, and all your covers friends, Bastel and the Jets. Yeah, the Blues are scary. It's like, whoa. Are the St. Louis Blues now the Florida Panthers? Answer, yes.
Stop.
They're jerks.
Florida Panthers are a greasy team. And
they are. I know they are. And you're going to get more of this, by the way. You're going to get more
but like
of this.
Everybody in Leaf Nation's like, you got to dress Ryan Reeves for game 2. And you're like, no, just keep playing your game and don't play the game that Florida wants you to play. No?
I think so. I think Sam Bennett took it to another level too. He's probably been reading some newspapers and thought, elbows up. We're in Toronto. Elbows up.
I can't read. What are you talking about?
You guys would love to have Sam Bennett on your team. Love it.
I used to give him 99. I used to work with his cousin.
Did you?
In the electrical field. Yeah, looked exactly like a really nice guy. But yeah, we can hate Sam Bennett. We like Sam Bennett during the Four Nations.
Yes. Love Sam Bennett.
Nothing against Sam Bennett, the human being. Sam Bennett, the hockey player. I hate your guts.
Yep.
And you intentionally try to injure people. You took Marchand out of the series. You took Nyes out of the series.
Yep.
And league's going to do nothing against you.
Don't forget that Michael Bunting.
You couldn't do a single goddamn chin up at the combine. You scrawny guy when you were 16, 17, 18. So I always like to bring that one up, Dave.
There you go.
Just to picture him just struggling for one chin up.
The times are changing, eh?
He'll be back and he'll score. But remember we were talking about the third line yesterday. I'm gonna wait. Hopefully they don't do anything. the Marchand line, the Listerainen, and the Lundell line. Hopefully they don't do anything so we can get them at a better price.
Yeah. Orchestrated. Exactly.
Dang it. They scored.
Yeah, they did. They look good too. I mean, if you had a couple extra minutes there, if you're a Florida Panther fan, it would have been, I'm just saying. Hey, we saw Joey Wall yesterday too. I didn't expect to see him this fast, eh?
I've had so many notes about if you come in saying I told you so,
I'm not telling you nothing. I'm not the told you so guy. You know that. I'm just saying I started smiling when I saw Joey Wall, and then I found out the reason, and it was like, oh, that's not good. That's not good.
So I had to listen to Bonesy on the drive home, coming home from baseball yesterday with the kids. First period, the first shot, I think, knocked the helmet off.
Yes.
Gallar's, blew the clips right off his helmet.
Correct.
And I think that's where, and I will give the situation with Bennett a little, I'll douse it a bit. It wasn't that massive of a contact to the head in the crease.
No.
It was out. He was coming across. He still did a Sam Bennett chicken wing. We get it, but it wasn't that insane. I think that 90-mile-an-hour shot right to the chin might have had something to do with it. No, maybe it's something we don't know, that taking a puck to your head probably isn't great for you.
No, it probably isn't, and none of us, thankfully, haven't taken that kind of shot. But if you're gonna get a shot, that's probably not the place you want it. You know, do you even want it at your head? Exactly. Yeah, you gotta move out of the way.
Oh,
you're 6'7". It's clearly going to go over the net. I know it's down, but yeah, no, so a couple things about that too. A lot of reports about him leaving the rink with a stretcher. That's just protocol. We shouldn't read into that. You don't want a guy that's, concussed or whatever the case might be, walking, and you don't want two people helping a 6'7" guy help him walk. So it was either wheelchair or stretcher. Maybe the wheelchair. I'm working with a doctor here, Dr. Sean McCormick. He mentioned to me that in a wheelchair, you may not have your head stable, so you lay him down, right? So it's a staff I have here today, Josh. It's A1, let me tell you.
All I could hear was Dr. Nick Riviera's voice when you said Dr. Sean McCormick.
Very similar. Same schooling. Schooling. So
Barry Radcliffe up in the chat. I have to go back up. Easy to score on a breakaway, talking about Matthew Nyes. When Florida only had 4 guys on the ice. Huge mistake. Sound like a Florida fan. Throw you in the donkey wagon too with Paul Maurice.
There's a big donkey wagon.
It's getting bigger. I didn't think the donkey wagon would be so big after one game day, but it's
this is outstanding. This totally verifies my Blues takes from a couple days ago. This is great. I love this.
Bobby Newport, 6 diagnosed concussions for myself as an athlete. Head injuries, history, and bodily responses vary from person to person. Can be scary stuff. 100%. Throwing up on the bench is not normal.
No, it's not.
No.
And another thing too, okay, and we've all been on benches at different degrees of sports. None of the Leaf players were moving. If somebody's throwing up from me, I'm hightailing it out of there. You're going to sit there and I forget which dude it was, but I mean, Joey Wall didn't move, and Stolarz is clearly hunched over. You see the skate girl that cleans the ice waiting for him, and then he kind of moves out of the way. I'm like, get out of the way. Leave the air. I guess maybe they don't want to magnify it, but somebody's throwing it up in front of me, and I'm the first one. I'm pushing you out of the way to get out of the way. That's how fast I'm moving. But yeah,
Craig Berube would be a smart man if he's like, no, nobody move. Don't let him know he just threw up. Don't move.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I did watch that clip and thought the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Just okay, watch on the bench, and I'm just waiting for one of the 3 guys around him to be like, oh, I'm getting puked on.
Yes.
This is the guy moves the bucket. And nobody moved.
Yeah. Like my buddy Mark Savard would have been diving out of the way if he'd been on that side, because that guy loves to move on the bench.
Yeah, Mark Savard celebrates entering the zone.
By the way, Mark Savard, great stick taping videos on YouTube. It's fantastic. Look it up. Mark Savard taping. He goes through, before he was coaching, even before in the OHL, he'd do these video series. It was excellent. I've used to watch them all the time. Massive hits too. So anyway,
Mark Savard. There you go.
Leafs. Yeah.
Game 2 Wednesday. Game 3 Friday in Florida. Should be an interesting one. We can assume 99% Joseph Woll will be in net on Wednesday.
Yes.
And let's say if it is a concussion thing and the protocols are put in, just think about how we deal with it in the NFL. Like, you don't clear protocol Sunday to Thursday. You would
No.
never clear that one. And it's really tough to clear Sunday to Sunday. So you're looking like 7 days minimum.
That's why we're not going to see Mark Scheifele in game number 1 and likely game number 2. Scheifele's been skating, by the way. He's been on the ice, no equipment, but there's no, if he, just like we talked about, if he's not playing game 7, he's not playing game 1.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that it's a Friday, game number 2, but we shall see. But that's another one. And it's just like you said with concussion protocol. So
Tim Powell says it was funny how the trainer with the bucket was so nonchalant, like serving chili at a homestead. Like that's how nonchalant it looked. I agree.
It totally was.
I did add late to that game. Toronto first period team total over 0.5 was minus 130.
Really? Was it?
Yeah, Toronto to score first was almost even money.
Huh. Well, they got it. Tick, tick, tick. I was at baseball too, and all of a sudden somebody goes, they scored. I'm like, what, Florida? Kachuk? What? No, Will the Thrill.
What are you doing at baseball so late?
I play way too much baseball. Actually, I'm coaching baseball this year, and now we have a hockey thing too. By the way, shout out to all our West Hill listeners and coaching staff that are watching on this channel right now. West Hill number 1.
What is West Hill? Is that a place? Is that a place you city folk go to all the time?
No, that's the name of our team.
Okay.
The Golden
That's
Hawks.
not a normal name. My baseball team name's the Tailgaters. That's
no. This is the rep hockey team.
Oh, this is a legit team that doesn't.
This is a legit team.
Lots.
Yes, this is a legit rep hockey. The baseball team is I don't know what the baseball team is, just like a kids baseball team. This is another kids, but it's real. It's for reals, as they say. So anyway,
I spent some time in the real world too.
Yeah,
nice.
I hope to return.
Now, not this week. Not until the Leafs win 11 more games, bud. Not until the Leafs win 11 more games.
Oh no. Maybe that Nice jersey will be back by then.
Imagine that. Imagine I didn't have it for a Stanley Cup run. Oh, that would make me angry. No, Carolina, Washington. Carolina, yes. Minus 125. Washington, 105. Home dog. Get out of here. Over under sitting at 5.5, leaning to the over.
Yeah.
Dave's on Blake for a point, and it's just a game.
Aren't we all? It
hasn't changed. How do these markets not change?
Everybody in the chat, if you're not on this play, you're not paying attention. You're on the donkey wagon, as Josh would say. You're on the donkey wagon. I'm just saying.
I would give you, the spots are starting to get limited. I don't think I can throw everybody in there right now, because then I won't have room for Anton Lundell when I need him.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
And then your sneaky play, Dylan Strome, or it's Strome or Wilson, right?
That is it. Sports Interaction has a couple markets where it's one or the other. We see it a lot with baseball as well. This is a goal. And the thing I looked at it was plus money, plus 105, Strome Wilson, score a goal. We'll talk about that in a bit, but that's a market that I am in.
Okay. And you're going to go Dylan Strome or Tom Wilson to score.
Yep.
This is a Sports Interaction market, plus 105. And then I'm going Washington money line, plus 105, same price. Talk to me about Blake. Talk to me about Strome or Wilson. And I do really like that Strome or Wilson before you get to it, because you get both lines.
Yep.
And that's massive, I think.
There it is. Exactly. Jay Blake, first off, any plus money I'm taking, first line power play, 18 minutes and counting as far as his time on ice is concerned, 21 years old, lots of energy out there, 4 points in 5 games against the Devils. And we saw him increase in responsibility throughout this series with the Devils. This Devils series was crap to watch. Jackson Blake was not crap to watch. This was excellent. I love this Carolina Hurricane top 6. He's part of it, and he's going to be part of it for a while. I love the plus money. The Strome Wilson thing, a lot of people forget that we're talking about 2 30-goal scorers here. Dylan Strome, 29 goals during the regular season. He scored 2 against the Canadiens. Tom Wilson, 33 goals during the regular season, scored 2 against the Canadiens. And plus money, and you get either or. If they both score, you win. If one scores, you win. I like the market. Like I price this personally to be about minus 120. So minus 125. So when I saw plus 105, I went, sign me up.
I like it. I like it a lot. And if producer Mick could bring those back, that market back in, like it's same thing with Matthews. The Ovechkin situation is super overvalued, right? Like he's not going to get as many power play opportunities. He's not going to have as much space as he usually does. Ovechkin isn't a guy who gains the zone, splits defenders, and buries. He's just sitting there.
Yep.
That's what he does. Svechnikov, Ovechkin, 165.
Yeah.
I think that should be somewhere around minus 125 the other way. And I think that's where you get the value with the Strome and Wilson at plus 105. That's my favorite of the entirety of all of them.
Thank you. I like that.
I don't know how you're taking OV and KK at minus 115.
Yep.
It's the Aho Strome one or the Strome Wilson one, and I like 20 extra points.
Bingo. Hey, we do our research, okay? We do our research.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Shots on goal from Boogs. Adam's Digest in the chat. Good to see you. Good morning. I'm sure he's parading the Chris Tanev block shots.
Is that our block shot guy? Because I saw that yesterday in the chat as well.
But like
35 and a half block shots.
Such a hard market to live or die
with.
Yeah.
I know.
There's 65-year-old Janine in the box just trying to figure out if that was a block shot, if it got through or not.
That's the scariest part for me. Like points, goals, assists, whatever. No problem. We know. Power play points. We know. Block shots. I'll have an argument with you if I'm betting an over on a block shot counter. Of course I will. And it's like, I mean, you got the right guy for the block shot prop, but a lot of it is the trust factor of how they are actually going to grade that, right?
Because they're probably not going to be generous.
No.
Right? It's the other way around.
Just like I'm a big face-off win guy, because just when I'm watching game, I teach my kids about face-offs and how to enter this and that, and I go, okay, that's a win. See, now I just and a lot of times you look at it and go, I wonder how they graded that, because when I'm marking stuff down, it's like, no, he went 6 for 8, not 5 for 8 on that face-off period. And why isn't this like this? Like, I want to know this stuff. Sorry, I'm a nerd. Okay, leave me alone.
But like, where's the quality control? Is
that
one final?
Yeah, and I know.
I had an interview with the guy from Money Puck, who's a really interesting, nice guy. And he was talking about it, and it's really difficult to get a hold of the NHL to talk about how their grading process is. Because, I don't know, they don't want the secret sauce to go out. They don't want us to know that it's a 65-year-old retired woman from Richmond Hill counting shots on goals and blocks.
I hope not. I'm interested. I'd love another part-time job.
That'd be sweet.
I would, wouldn't it?
I'd take that.
You're coming with me.
Yeah, nah.
No, you are.
You just write down, I'll look up. I don't know. I'm panicking. There's 8,000 shots in that 3 seconds. Coin flip. This is a coin flip in my books at best, on my Washington money line. On neutral ice, to me, this is a coin flip.
Yep. Well, okay. So I love the pick because Washington's at home. Washington clearly has the better goaltender, no matter what Carolina has in the net. And if you're going to get that, I don't know how you don't bet that. I think that's a fantastic bet. I like that bet a lot.
This is where the situation is. You always got to find out where the market comes from, or else you're just one of those idiots saying the price is wrong. Right? And then you look like the wrong one 9 times out of 10 when you say the price is wrong. Unless it's like niche markets. But when you're talking sides and totals, it's an easy way to look stupid. Carolina was in Washington twice this year. Washington was plus 125 and plus 135 home dogs versus Carolina this year. So that's where this pricing comes from. So it's like, oh, okay, now it's a different, well, let's adjust it, but we can't adjust it too much. We can only adjust it from the shortest one, which is 125. So they're adjusting this 20 points. But I don't think the 135 was correct.
Right.
This was a Carolina team, Dave, on the road, was 16 and 25 straight up. They had the same point percentage on the road this year as the Anaheim fucking Ducks. And we're talking about them being a heavy series favorite starting on the road. I don't see it. I don't love it. Svechnikov, Aho, Blake. Okay, sure.
Yep.
That's your top line. Taylor
It's good.
Hall.
It's a very good first line. It's a very good first line.
I wouldn't give it. I would.
That's not a B+ line. Oh, come on. Why aren't you sold on that? I even like their second line.
I know. So I don't think they're not a top heavy team.
No.
Svechnikov is not that great. He's played well since his move, but he was playing bottom 6 minutes before he got promoted.
You know what? But history will say that this guy is a top 6 forward, right?
I mean, moving around. I mean, they got Seth Jarvis on the third line. They just kind of split it up, and it's like, here's our team. We're just
power throughout.
Rob Brindamore, water down. I don't know. That's what Taylor Hall, Jesper Kotkaniemi, and Logan Stankoven on the second line or third line, whatever your middle six. I don't know. It's Taylor Hall and KK.
Right.
I don't love it, but it's a well coached team.
Defense
is great. Dmitry Orlov's probably one of the most underrated playoff blue liners. But Washington can certainly hang. Washington was, look at their record. They were great on the road this year, great at home.
Yep.
You're also facing a goalie. We laughed about Freddie Anderson yesterday. When you're handing out 2.75 1-year extensions to your goalie, it really goes to show you where he is.
Yep.
But then we got the other thing, and let me know how you feel about this. Neither team really had a tough opponent. Probably the two easiest opponents in the entire playoffs in New Jersey and Montreal. So I don't think there's really much momentum carried on from either round one.
If anything, the pushback the Capitals received from Montreal was much more than the pushback the Hurricanes felt from the Devils. Like, if anything, right?
Yeah.
So,
looking at chat, do you guys like McMichael at all? I like the McMichael Pierre-Luc Dubois stack. I think that's somewhere around plus 200 in that point. I do like that line. I think that's the line that drives Washington in this entire series. And I think I don't know who Brindamore puts up against it. Seth Jarvis, Jordan Staal, and Jordan Martinook. Stahl's an absolute warrior. I know you love him.
Yep.
But I don't know if they can hang with those three. McMichael can finish. Wilson does it all. Pierre-Luc Dubois, he's a grease ball too.
Yeah, he is. I know that firsthand. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't worry, that milk will expire soon, Washington. It just won't expire in this series.
He's found a home, Dave. Stop it. He finally found a home.
Don't start this with me.
Finally found a home.
Stop.
Might have taken 6 trips, but he found a place. Wasn't in LA.
Yes. No.
Wasn't in Montreal.
No, not in Winnipeg, not in Columbus.
Oh, jeez. There's so many stops.
He found a home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's Protoss slotting? They have him at 4th, but we'll see. Nick Perez, he's on the 4th line. I think Washington's still going to skate Anthony Beauvillier in the top line. And if you're sitting there trying to say that Carolina's a better team in this game, you could probably point to Washington having an Anthony Beauvillier talking about finding a home. He's been a guy that's been shopped around and hasn't really fit anywhere. And all of a sudden,
he's so useful though, Josh. He's so useful, right?
How so?
I know. I'm just trying to sell you.
Yeah, but he's pointing. Like, that's what I mean. Anybody in these spots can get points.
I'd like to see Andrew Mangiapane do something a little bit more too. Like we haven't seen the Calgary version of this guy yet, and I kind of expect that. I know he's playing like third line minutes, but I think there's a bigger expectation here. Maybe this is a spot. Maybe this is,
But I think that there's the dark horse in this situation when you're going through that lines and looking on how Washington can be competitive in this series. It's that Lars Eller, Mangiapane, and Ryan Leonard line.
Yeah.
Their variance of being terrible to very good. It's very wide, their range of outcomes in the series, but they could certainly make a mark. Ryan Leonard is an absolute stud. Mangiapane, you've seen him.
And we're just seeing the beginning of it too, because this guy's going to be around.
Lars Eller, kind of greasy too. You kind of want him to get going too.
There you go.
Producer Mick says, hit that like button. You guys aren't as greasy. You guys won't be in the donkey bin.
Yeah. Actually, hit the like button, and you will not be in the donkey wagon. And you don't want to be in that donkey wagon. I've seen Josh and his donkey.
You want to be in close quarters with
no.
Nikola and Sam Bennett.
No, so hammer that exactly. Yeah. And share with your friends.
At least if we know if it's a caged bar where Sam Bennett's in the donkey bin, that he can't do a pull-up and get himself out of it. So he's stuck in there.
It's true. It's true.
Can't do them chin-ups. Yep. Just I hope I never run into him. He'd absolutely just dummy me. Let's get that out of the way. I'm not pretending to be that guy, but yeah.
No, you wouldn't do that. No.
Yeah, I think so. Who knows? All right. That's what we got for that game. Blake Point, Stromer Wilson to score. Washington money line. Let's go Washington. I have them on the series for 2.5 units at plus 135. Market went against me, but I still believe in it. Edmonton, Vegas minus 140. Edmonton plus 120. Flat 6. Leaning to the over on the total. Interesting that Edmonton opened as the favorite, yet they're plus 120 here in the first game on the road. Make that make sense because it doesn't to me. You're on McDavid for 2+ points at even money. Zach Hyman for a point. Did I put the price on it?
Minus 110. Yeah, flat.
Minus 110.
Yeah.
Producer Mick's probably putting that in right now because I don't remember putting it in.
That's okay.
I didn't even put it in at all. We'll get it in there. Don't worry. We won't cheat you a Hyman point.
No.
And then me. I am, speaking of greaseballs, Corey Perry. That's who I'm looking at today for a point.
Yep.
For 2 points. 2 points at 6.25.
2 points. Wow. That's healthy.
I don't care. It could have been anybody. It could have been Connor Brown. Whoever is skating with Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid on the top line at 5-on-5 and on the power play.
True.
And we've mentioned every week that middle spot, the bumper spot, net front guy, that role has a bigger job in the playoffs more so than in the regular season, but I don't think books adjust that price as much.
And secondary scoring in that Oilers lineup is a desert. So you hope that Corey Perry is one of those guys, right?
Give it to 97. That's it.
That's it. Video game, right? Whole team?
For sure.
It's kind of like that anyway.
Vegas team total over 3.5 too, Dave, before I cut you off for the 17th time today. Over 3.5 plus 115. Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's okay. Before we jumped on our 10 o'clock live, which you should have liked by now, I talked to some Sports Interaction operations guys, and I got Connor Brown and Matthias Janmark to be added to our player points. So probably look for that in the next hour because sometimes they don't work as fast as I want them to. Connor Brown had a sensational first round with 5 points. His minutes is also increased. So we talk about secondary scoring for the Oilers and much needed. Maybe this is the guy. And Janmark apparently only scores during the postseason and never the regular season. So those totals will be added hopefully by the time you watch the replay of this a little bit later on in the afternoon.
Perez is saying, if you had $25 free, what would you put it on tonight? Now, in my mind, I always bounce around between two things.
Okay, fire.
Probability or value. Because in betting, they're two very different things. If you want to put $25 on something that has a better outlook of hitting, stay away from Corey Perry 2 points. But in terms of value,
money you win.
I know, but so my mind went to the two most mispriced guys who are top line MPP1 to get aggressive. $25 free. You might as well take a swing. Go get Blake for 2 points and Perry for 2 points.
There you go.
I think Washington's winning. Don't get me wrong, but I just think that the points are there. So, or if you're not crazy, just get a point for each guy.
I think you're secretly telling us that both of these games are going to the over. Is that true?
Well, they're both certainly leaning to the over at the 5.5.
Yeah. Well, the Oilers game is a 6 flat though, right? So
that's the thing. They have to score. They finished with the best expected goals for at 5-on-5 and all strengths per 60 in round 1. Why? Because they have to outscore their issues on the blue line and in net. I don't know. I just think that so there's an interesting one. If you want to work around the multipliers from the sports books in terms of that, getting Edmonton player points and then maybe Vegas money line, something like that.
Okay.
Like two negatively correlated things, because they have to score. And that's the only thing. That's where I'm at with Perry and the Vegas team total over 3.5. I think both can happen because Edmonton creating chances, but I don't think they can hold the fort on their own end, especially game one on the road in Vegas. No,
You scared that 3 out of the 4 games during the regular season went to the under?
no, I don't care
No.
about that.
Okay.
But look what we saw yesterday in Florida, right?
I know.
Yeah.
Somebody smart picked the over. I know. It's genius. little Barry Horowitz happening here.
Yeah, big, yeah. 1989 wrestling
legend.
there.
Legend. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Look it up, kids. Look it up.
Yeah, he's so good. You could have seen him on WWF Superstars Saturday at 11 o'clock after cartoons.
Yeah, when jobbers were jobbers, right?
No, what were we talking about before that?
The overs, the totals. The Oilers total. You're not concerned that the 3 out of 4 went under. I'm not either, and I wasn't yesterday against the Florida, Toronto. And now that we see Joe Wallinet, I'm really not concerned about going under in that game. But that's
yeah, I know, but like they put him in a pretty shitty spot yesterday. Let's be honest, but he looked very small in his net. At least that's what my group chat was saying. I usually just steal my group chat comments and then put them online. Don't tell my group chat that.
No, they're not watching.
That's a good comment, Tim. I'm gonna steal it and gauge for me. But Calvin Pickard, 4 straight wins. Oh Jesus, 4 straight wins, Dave. Look out. He's allowed 3+ goals in 3 of those 4 games and 4+ goals in 2 of those.
Correct. The Oilers have outscored their problems, and that may catch up to you.
What about Hanifin, Theodore shot on goal? Think they're going to be firing on Edmonton's goalies? They would hope. I mean, right now that's where it is. I would assume that the idea of is let's not be cute with Calvin Pickard in net. Let's just get pucks on the net, because I mean that's the thing to say just in the playoffs in general.
Period.
Lundqvist is playing great. Just get the pucks on net. No, Calvin Pickard's in net. He ain't good. Get the pucks on net.
Take away his eyes. You don't say. You don't.
Yeah, but no, I don't know what Theodore. I hadn't been tracking Theodore. I knew at the end of the season when he came back from injury, he wasn't up to his regular 22 minutes, and it was actually Noah Hanifin who was getting the big minutes. So I would look to see where the time on ice, which is probably priced in, but Hanifin was my guy down the stretch at the end of the year within that offense, even though he was on PP2, I believe, but he was getting some PP1 time. Sean McCormick saying hurdle over 2.5 shots, even money. Now I can't spit out advice because why, Dave? These were the late series.
Yes, I know exactly. Back to Theodore with time on ice. So in that Minnesota series, started off around 2017-19. By the end of it, he was consistently playing 24, 25 minutes. Okay. So, and we can't include the overtime one because that kind of throws it out of whack. Just like Neil Pionk's stats for tomorrow, it will get thrown out of whack.
40 minutes
because the guy played an hour on the ice, right? It's just one of those things, right? So,
thank you for finding that. The difference between 17 minutes for a top line defenseman and 23 is the difference
substantial.
Between 1 and 3 line.
Exactly. Exactly.
You wouldn't want to be betting on a shot on goal while he's only getting 17. So it looks like it's full go for him. You'll get full minutes. Not sure in terms of this game, seeing extra time. The more goals that are scored in a game, the less probable overtime is.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
It does, but the Oilers do have a habit of
going to overtime and score 4.
Well, that's the thing, right?
Yeah. And then, like, if they're pressing, like if they're holding on to a 1-goal lead, you got Calvin Pickard holding the fort there for 2 minutes now that they're pulling goalies earlier to tie things up late. And we're constantly seeing it. We saw it again last night in Florida, where it doesn't look like any lead is safe late in the games right now, Dave.
No. And the thing is, I'm expecting more from Aiden Hill that we did with Darcy Kemper. So I know Darcy Kemper had a fantastic regular season. I know he's a Vezina candidate. He's in that trio. That's great. But I am expecting a little more out of Adin Hill, and defensive structure of the Vegas Golden Knights is much better than the Los Angeles Kings. So I'm not saying Connor isn't going to go off for like 3 points, 4 points. I hope he hits his 2, right? Yep. But I'm not sure if the Oilers are going to be able to score themselves out every single game. It may catch up to them, and Calvin Pickard will eventually realize that, Cinderella has hit midnight and he is Calvin Pickard. So
Stuart Skinner, game 2.
I was gonna say, man, that's tough though, right? It's
2 goalie changes in 7 games.
Woof.
No injuries.
No. Hey, Oilers,
Vegas, Bobby Newport says Washington, Vegas, both to win, sitting at plus 450. Any value?
Washington and sorry, what was his parlay?
Just Vegas and Washington. I don't know. That must be regulation. Those odds seem pretty big. Yeah, you should just be.
Yeah, because you got your plus 105 or plus 100.
It'd just be like plus 300.
Yeah.
No, it shouldn't even be plus 300.
Yeah.
That's probably regulation.
Yeah.
But I do like those sides. I do like home sides. I think there's a big regulation. Yes, I do like those. I like that. That's a good number. And that's what we got today.
Yes, sir.
Don't stop. 2 games. I'll catch a majority of the first one.
You're watching a little more of the second, aren't you? Yes, you are. You totally are.
I got early commitments in the morning. I'm a responsible
early commitment. Why? You got to take the kids to school like everybody else?
The more hockey I watch,
the better of a person you are. No, and you're already a better person.
The fatter of a human being I become.
No.
Yes.
Don't be a Pierre-Luc Dubois watching hockey.
I have to
be better than that.
I have to drink beer and I have to eat Ruffles potato chips. But it's
what's your flavor, by the way?
Whatever.
Really? Oh, you don't have a flavor?
All dressed
all dressed is mine. Yes.
If I have to choose.
But I'll go more on Ruffles. Yeah, they're great. But value, President's Choice, loads of Old Dressed, outstanding.
Yes, agreed.
Outstanding.
Vinegars are good too.
And you could get them for $2.50 a bag, which is I'm the value hunter. So that's plus money.
A bag of chips doesn't push the needle anymore. I get it. French onion dip. Stewie Z's bringing back memories. I used to have to go to the store back in the days when your parents would give you like a note and be like, hey, go pick me up a pack of smokes. Here's the note.
Yeah.
So I'd go down there. So I'd get smokes and I'd get my dad a bag of regular Lay's and that dip of French onion dip that was in the.
I do remember that.
Right? Yes. That was next to the milk and the eggs and the produce.
Totally.
Yeah. Oh, French onion dip.
French onion dip. They still sell that, don't they?
I would think so.
Yeah, I haven't done that in a while, but yeah, it's Old Dressed for me. And then the silver spot would probably be like ketchup. Ketchup's in there. And then the bronze medal would probably be like a decent barbecue kick. I don't need hot flaming nothing. I just need a little bit of a barbecue kick. But that's the bronze medal for me.
There's a 50% chance every time I eat smart food that I'm going to get a kernel like stuck in my gums somehow. And I have one right now from yesterday. Like gluttony eating the kids' small bags. You're like, can't have one, better have 2.
No, better.
Miss Vicky's spicy dill pickle, Miss Vicky's anything. Just chips. They're
Miss Vicky's is a good chip too. It's a nice hard crisp chip. This evaluation is outstanding.
I know, right? And it's like, so I got like a little snack room under the stairs.
Yep.
It's like a pull chain in there.
I was going to say with a padlock on it. Yeah.
Right now. So I have no light. So now I just go in and just like fumble around for like a big bag of chips and just grab it. And I just have to handle whatever I get.
No. And you handle it well. Yes, exactly.
All right. Beer and chips. So come on, Josh. It's June, 2 more months of it. And that's our great handicapping of hockey.
There you go. Awesome.
Dave's back next Monday. Carlo tomorrow. We got more hockey. Leafs. I mean, what happens if we get Winnipeg, Toronto, bud?
Woo,
Oh God,
that's gonna be good.
you have to bring Dr. McCormick in to
I was gonna
separate us. That's for sure.
McCormick's actually sitting in the corner with his Leafs hat on, so I think he's way on Jingle's side than Bastel's side on this one.
Bobby Newport, last one I'll touch on. He says talkies were used as currency at the last school I coached at. It is insane how kids just like talkies that are probably the most disgusting things.
They totally do. I get requests for that, and I'm like, nah, you know what? No, we're not going to do that. Oh, by the way, that I know Carlo's on tomorrow. That Canadian World Championship team is going to be stacked. Now we know that Marc-Andre Fleury is doing his goodbye parade with his buddy Sidney and Nate McKinnon. People are going to sign up for this one. People are probably asking Hockey Canada, hey, I'm available. I am available. So I watch that price, man. They're
like
winning
a role in a Quentin Tarantino movie.
It is, exactly. Or I'll give you Adam Sandler as well, who clearly picks all his friends. I wish I was one of them. I wish I was a better looking version of Rob Schneider. That's all I'm going to say. I am a better looking version of Rob Schneider, but I want to be Rob Schneider to Adam Sandler.
Yeah. All right. Don't forget, Sports Interaction has you covered for all these picks. Download the Sports Interaction app. Josh Ingles, Dave Bastel, NHL Puck Props presented by Sports Interaction. What a show. What a game last night. Let's go. More hockey, 2 games tonight. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Appreciate everybody there to chat. Cheers.